Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going down. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning. In the morning? This thing on?
My bad. Try it now.
In the morning.
Yes.
Did you have me muted or something? What was that?
I did. When you were setting up that light, you guys was back there chattering.
Oh, yeah. No. Need people to hear me.
As you can see, hey, Buddi3 Da Gawd in town live from the Culxr House.
Yeah, man. What's up?
Hey, Pops. I thought you was going to be knocked out. Good Friday morning, First Sky fam and squad, sending you all mad love from Las Vegas.
Hey.
All right, Pops. That's what's up. Wanda Luce gives us a good morning. Vaughn Chapman says good morning with some sunshine. Valentine says morning, fam.
The fam.
Judy Princess says good morning, First Sky fam. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining us.
Squad.
I'm surprised. Pops hit me up a little earlier. Was like he'd been creating all night. He had to get some sleep.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we get it honest.
Yeah.
Josh Taves gives us a good morning. What's happening, my brother? Appreciate you. Yeah, it's going down this morning, y'all. Friday, September 9th, 2022. A fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah, a special edition this morning. Buddi3 Da Gawd is in town, Omaha, Nebraska. Live from the Culxr House right now, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Marcy Yates waking up the crack of dawn, or as my man likes to say, the ass crack of dawn.
Black excellence in the house. Marcy Yates in the house.
Yeah, man. They stepped outside real quick. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
I might be making an appearance sometime throughout the show, stopping in to say hi to all the First Skyers.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. I just got to say, for 3 hardcore musicians to be up this early in the morning together is an anomaly. So give them some praise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Pop says, yep, can't miss this joint. I heard that. I appreciate it, Pops. Thanks for joining us again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, Marcy Yates, Black Excellence, Culxr House, all
Man.
of y'all. Wanda Lewis says, welcome home, buddy.
Thank you kindly. It's good to be home. It's good to be home. Few more buildings missing than I remember. Yeah.
Somebody ran into him and then it got cut on fire.
Possibly. Don't know if y'all heard. It was reported like last week. I think it was like an abandoned house had a fire emergency call twice in the same night. Told Paul, first thing he said, see, man, I told you.
So where was it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, north side.
Anyway, special edition. Thanks for joining us, coming on in. Thanks, shout out to the 630 crew this morning too. That I saw Mark Manor posted that as well. Appreciate your brother Mark, if you're listening. We had some little old school mix going on the radio channel. You can always go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the listen button, celebration of black music over there. And I always do a little 630 mix. I'm getting ready for the show just to make it so that I can communicate with y'all that get up early at 6:30 and get on the radio channel. So appreciate that. Once again, I'm pleasantly surprised that we're doing something new and didn't have the tech problems that we usually do. But that's because we chose the right place, man. Culxr House got it going on over there, and they do some big things, and we'll definitely be talking about what they do as well over there today.
Actually, we'll be bringing back some things, and have some events and things coming up. So yeah, man, big shout out to the homie Marcy Yates. He actually we go way back, man. Like was chilling with Marcy before it, even launched the Culxr House. So it's beautiful just to see where it's at, man. So it's only right that we came together for this one.
Yeah, that's what's up. Once again, Friday, September 9th. It is the weekend. We're going to have an extensive haps a little later on this afternoon. So definitely get your haps ready and together to talk about what you think we ought to be checking out this weekend. Pop says, fires. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Hey,
Twice in one night, huh? They set a fire, went out, and they set another one. They had to call them back. And while you're at it, bring a car down here to run into the side of this house.
man.
It is what it is. Welcome. We will be talking about some stuff. We kind of tentatively been talking about a little kickback happening on a Sunday this weekend. So those of you chat timers that are in town, stay tuned for that news. We'll might be putting something together there. And we're working really hard on making it so that we can do a little broadcast from the Benson Theater on Monday morning as well. So we'll see how that works out. One of the reasons why I'm not at Culxr House is because I was exposed to someone that had COVID the other day. So I've been quarantined for the past 3 days. Went for a test yesterday. Was thinking I'd get that test results back early, the same day. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll hopefully get those test results back. I think I'm cool. Just had it, so it's unlikely I got it again, but better safe than sorry. So just kind of laid low for the past 2 or 3 days to see what was up. So I was very, very in close proximity with somebody that came down with it, and just trying to do the due diligence.
I appreciate you being responsible. I appreciate you being responsible because I heard it in your voice, man. I know you want to be down here bad, man. And we doing the thing from Culxr House for a while. So I know you want to be down here, but due to circumstances, I appreciate you for just making the hard decision and being responsible. And this is what we talk about as far as doing the thing. We went to Cali. You got sick. You kind of slipped up and now it's real thing, man. It's a real thing dealing with COVID. So appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I mean, ain't no sense in getting you sick. You come down for a trip, you get sick. You got
Man.
little mama with you. She's exposed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
yeah.
hopefully, we're able to do the thing on Monday. Looking forward to that from a Benson Theater, another partner of ours. But yeah, the lab said they need that full 24. Yeah, they need that full 24 hours.
That's right.
Sit tight.
And shout out to Culxr House. They were the first ones that I saw that had that machine in the front where you can put your forehead on it and show if you got a fever. They've been diligent about that safety over there.
Actually, I still haven't seen many of those. Like Culxr House is kind of on the cutting edge of that. So yeah, big shout out.
Sure thing, man. Vicky Young gives us a good morning with some sunshine. Good morning to you. Appreciate you getting up so early. Rome's Reviews in the house said just because we play what the people want, them call us pirates. Quoting some more lyrics. That's what's up, man. I got some hip hop I need to shoot your way, man, for you to check out some new cats that I'm all about right now.
Are you talking to the mayor?
Yeah, man. Talking to Mayor Sanchez, man. He got a nice musical taste and collection, and I want to share a few things with him. Some brand new music out there that's going on. Pop says, I'm proud of your diligence and concern, son. Appreciate you, Pops. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Shout out to Pops. We're saying I feel like you're talking about that Coast Contra.
Coast Contra, bro.
Yeah, Coast.
Them boys returning my faith in hip hop in a big way.
Man, it ain't dead. It ain't dead. It's alive and well with cats like that. So yeah. If you haven't heard, go check out Coast Contra. Tell them First Sky sent you.
There you go. That's what's up. Maybe we'll start a little music feature here pretty soon, and just kind of like throw some things out since we're so close to the culture.
Man, is that something y'all would like to see?
Good question, man. Put that out there.
Because I know when that Kendrick dropped, we were losing it. We were all about that. We were losing it, all about it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's for real. And I don't know when you want to drop some of these photos that you just sent over, but
is that where we're kicking off? Is that how we're gonna start? Is it story time?
Speaking of contact with the culture, yeah, man, yeah, I'm gonna just go throw this one.
Go ahead, let them know.
Man. This is what Buddi doing in Atlanta.
Had a legendary day a couple days ago, man. Had a very legendary day a couple days ago. Ran into the teacher at Stank on your studios. Yeah, this is actually my second time meeting him.
Is that right?
Yeah. He had a show. He threw a show back in, I want to say 2015, 2014, 15, when I was in college, and went to the show. Was just in the crowd chilling, and good old OG hip hop KRS-One fashion. He starts kicking a freestyle and just turn it into a cipher. All the MCs in the crowd come on stage. Let's kick a cipher. Let's do a freestyle. And yeah, so I hopped on stage. I was sitting there. I was so starstruck and just I wasn't even ready to rap. I was just happy to be on stage with KRS-One. I was doing a radio show at that time on the college station, so I was trying to get in his ear, trying to like forget this freestyle. Can you come to the station? Can I get you on the show? That's what I was worried about. But
Right.
he didn't remember me. Of course, he didn't remember me. But yeah, man, it was definitely dope meeting KRS-One again. Having him on one of the other productions that I'm working on down there in Atlanta, man. So
That's what I was wanting to
yeah,
show too. Was that these cats are, I mean, you see what's happening here. Like you were saying the other day, like these legendary cats are checking us out and being like, let's see what's the value here. Let's sit down with some mics at the table and have some discussions as well. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we right here, bro. And for those of you that don't know who that is, the legendary KRS-One. He's like one of the legendary MCs of all time. The teacher, they call him. He's he's a professor of hip hop, bro. We started off with 4 elements. KRS-One brought in about 8 more. Like he's the one that brought in entrepreneurship as an element of hip hop and so on and so forth. I mean, we can talk about this cat for days. So shout out, man, to you being able to have access, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, man, I'm loving it.
It's not just me either, man. Like I'm definitely keeping Omaha with me, keeping Omaha in mind, working towards the ultimate vision is, getting some of these acts to come back, do some shows, do some things, touch the community,
Sure.
you know what I mean? So we working. I'll just say that, man. We are working, and we appreciate all the support that we receive from y'all and haven't forgotten about y'all. So yeah.
So, anyway, Friday, September 9th, 2022. That's what's going on. Pop says, I think it would be cool to have a regular segment featuring new and iconic music, keep us musically educated too. Yeah, Pops, you one of the people I'm going to hit up on some of that as well. We need the music history and everything else as well. So been really kind of formulating that for a while. We come from radio. So we already had shows like Funktropolis going on, Roots of Electric Jazz going on. We was already educating with the music, so figuring out a way to kind of bring that vibe back to is definitely what we want to do. Brother Valentine says definitely need a playlist. That reminded me that we do have a Spotify playlist going on. I'll go to First Sky Omaha, the Spotify page, and check out the playlist there. And definitely got some good tracks on there too. Some of the stuff that we play on the radio channel.
Yeah.
Vicky Young said that's what's up. That's what Rome's Reviews knows what's going on. Boogie Down Productions.
Come on, man.
That's what's up, man. Yep. He says, yeah, you're a philosopher. Yes. I think very deeply.
I think very deeply. Yes.
Yeah, Mayor Sanchez. Christy Norges is a good morning. And with that, man, there's already 7:15 or 7:13 if you believe in the concept of time here in Omaha. You're actually in the same time zone this time. So
yeah, but my computer is still stuck in Atlanta, so it's kind of throwing me off. I'm not gonna lie. If you believe in the concept of time, I think time is now to get going. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Let's roll.
Yay. What up? Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Where we think very deeply and here to talk to you and have some really deep conversations about some subjects. We're got some special stuff going on today for sure. Buddi3 Da Gawd is in town in Omaha, Nebraska. He's broadcasting live from the Culxr House, which is awesome. We often talk about the Culxr House and kind of wanted to make sure that we was representing over there and also give you some insights on what's going on over there as well. So We'll definitely have Marcy Yates on, talk a little bit what's going on over there. There's a lot of events happening, man. They're like the event capital in North Omaha right now. They got too
And
much stuff going on.
the
So
hub.
the hub, man, straight up. Wanda Lewis says, big thanks to Culxr House for hosting the location this morning. And big thanks to you guys for hanging with us on all the new stuff that we try out. Because you always know we be trying new stuff out, and then the tech might be all jacked up for a minute or so. But we appreciate y'all for bearing with us and keep coming back and continuing on with these conversations. So let's go ahead and jump into it because, like I said, we definitely want to spend some time talking to our special hosts this morning over at the Culxr House. And but we do have things to jump into, man. Some serious stuff going on in the world, and definitely need your opinions on that. Definitely need a conversation to happen. So, with that said, buddy, what's on the agenda first up?
Man, well, we kick off actually before we get into OPS's big news. I want to start off with something a little more positive, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Because when you follow the money, you never know where it leads you. But I wanted to jump into a quick little history lesson about Omaha's first black principal.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Ann May Swain, who started her first day as the first black woman principal in the Omaha schools 58 years ago, which is quite surprising because this is a name I have never heard, which I'm definitely excited to bring this to the people. Maybe some of you are familiar with this, but when she was a girl, other kids called her Bossy because she insisted on being the teacher when they played school. And of course, she became a teacher and a leader and a local pioneer. Swain was born and raised in St. Louis, where she received her teaching degree from Stowe Teachers College. She later earned her master's master's degree in educational administration from then Omaha University, now UNO. Her career in education started actually as a teacher in Northeast Omaha's Long and Howard Kennedy schools. So right in the heart of the North Side. Omaha Public School Superintendent Harry Burke, who our good friend Black Excellence has reminded us of several times. He actually appointed Swain principal at Lake Elementary School in North Omaha in 1964. Lake was one of Omaha's 4 black schools at the time, and by 1965, it was a completely segregated school. She received actually another call from an OPS superintendent in 1969, then Superintendent Owen Coutson, who asked Swain if she would transfer, and she agreed, making her the first black principal assigned to a school outside the North Omaha area. Her new assignment was principal of Jackson Elementary at 31st and St. Mary's Avenue, which was actually a white school at the time. Robert Sherman, who's a former superintendent of OPS, said she worked very, very hard to minimize the conflicts that were then existing between kids and parents and the community as a whole. But her real contribution to the kids was a student-centered administrator. Her contributions to the district during the 1970s, a period of desegregation, were invaluable, according to Sherman. And again, she ultimately retired in 1977. Also of her historic career, Swain also said that I feel we need whites in all black areas because if they're going to be well-rounded teachers, they need experience from all sides. It's helpful to the teachers and helpful to the children. Education shouldn't have color lines, which is quite interesting when you take in consideration some of the things that we're seeing today. Again, very, very minute number of African-American teachers, especially African-American male teachers. Also, shout out to Bridget Fogarty of our partners over at The Reader, who wrote extensively about the white flight that happened during the pandemic. Again, a lot of quote unquote white families pulling their children out of OPS schools to go to private schools in other districts. So looking back at that history, and again, it's very interesting to kind of juxtapose not just those things, but also taking into consideration Dr. Cheryl Logan. We go from our first woman black principal to having a woman black superintendent. So I did want to put that in there. Definitely shout out to Dr. Cheryl Logan, all the work that she's doing. But yeah, just a quick history lesson to kick this thing off. I'm curious in the chat, has anyone ever heard of this great woman?
Miss Swain.
Swain.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know if you've heard about her. Pop says, I heard of her often when I was little. She was a good friend of my grandparents. They spoke fondly of her, but I was too little to know why. Okay,
Hmm.
there you go. Some direct history there. That's what's happening. Miss Swain, first black principal in Omaha, Nebraska. So I love that. I knew nothing about this person. So that's what's up, man. I'm glad to hear about this.
I would actually like to see like a Swain Elementary. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's not a small thing. It's not a small thing, but
Yeah,
definitely want to give her flowers and shine some light on her history.
most
And
deaf.
shout out to Omaha World Herald actually for dropping this article. It's kind of a look at back in the day, September 8th, 1964. Again, just about what 58 years ago today, she became the first black woman principal. So yeah, point in
Miss
history.
Miss Swain looked like a principal too. She ain't taking no mess.
No, no, no. Hey, we talked about that corporal punishment. She might be the ones coming down with a ruler. You never know. You never know. You never know.
Why
But
she went in an integrated school so she can whoop everybody. That's what I'm talking about.
equal opportunity ass whoopings.
That's what's up. Shout out to Miss Swain.
Yeah, man. But from looking back to looking forward, as far as what is the legacy? You know, what is OPS looking like
Yeah.
nowadays? Especially with so many teachers. Again, she wanted to integrate and have black and white teachers, but we'll take any teacher that we can get. Definitely with the mass exodus of teachers that took place last year, and maybe this increase in the budget will go towards that. We'll see. But the news coming out of Omaha World Herald, Omaha Public School officials have proposed a spending increase of $20 million for this year's budget to accommodate higher salaries and contracted services. The board received an update from Shane Ryan, who's the chief financial officer for OPS, during Thursday's meeting to preview the proposed budget, which calls for increasing the district's general fund from $690 million to $710 million. Again, in the word of Sister Snipes, that's a big enough budget for it's its own city. OPS is its own city.
Yeah.
Actually,
Shout out to Miss Snipes for coming on in on YouTube, by the way. She came in right on time for that
man,
statement.
man, ears must have been ringing. Knew we was going to talk about her. Again, the general fund budget will also come with a slight decrease of the tax levy by about 0.002 cents. So not much. But again, Ryan said OPS expects an 8% increase in spending on salaries, which is big news, and benefits, and an 18% spending increase for contracted services. The budget also proposes a 9% increase for equipment costs and a 33% increase in spending on supplies and materials, which again, this is all good. In my perspective, again, going towards salaries. If you remember, teachers were complaining about those stipends that they're receiving. Maybe this can go towards that as well. And then also, again, 33% of the 22 million or the 20 million are going to supplies and materials. We all know that teachers are tapped out, going into their own pockets just to teach the kids, man. So
So where'd the money come from? Like how they just all of a sudden get 20 million? Like where like
I don't think they got it. They're proposing for it. As far as where it's coming from, that is a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're It says the district allows proposed reducing its general fund reserves by nearly 14 million. Orion said district policy allows the general fund to reach only a percentage of the previous year's spending, so the district occasionally has to spend more of the general fund reserves to keep the balance down. So this may be coming from general fund reserves. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. That's a good question. Camera, you might be more equipped to answer that question, or if we have um drew a blank on our resident school board candidate's name.
Brianna Full.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. If anybody's listening there, let us know. This is kind of a she's here. Kimber says, "Ask the budget committee." So she says she's not sure. Yeah, shout out to you on YouTube, by the way. She's asking a good question too. She said, "What happened to that program that pays people to attend these public government meetings? They need to report on it. They need to report to this show." Funny you say that. We actually are meeting with the person that is coming down to run that channel.
Yeah.
I already had a meeting with her last week. We have one scheduled for today, even though I'm not going to be able to make it because I still haven't got my test back. But yes, we are absolutely meeting with that team is called the Documenters Program.
Yep.
It's something that's running through the Reader. They're partnering with us. There's a lot going on here. So yeah, it's as a matter of fact, the lady who's running this, her name is Abby, and she's on it. She's been doing some work here in North Omaha for a long time too, some organizing, and she's really kind of putting this thing together. So yeah, we will definitely influence the documenters to go and sit at some of these school board meetings as well, because like you said, man, that's a huge. Now we're finally getting to some numbers like 70 million.
Man.
Like this, you're right. There's some huge numbers going on here. It's like Kimmer said, it's like a city, and they fund a lot of different things. So to be able to move stuff around, just be like, let's find an extra 20 million. It kind of raises a lot of questions. How come teachers weren't getting more before if they could raise 20 million? Like
Oh yeah.
why did they decide to give them a one-time stipend? Give them a bonus one time instead of like just raise a lot of questions. A lot of questions. Wanda Lewis says that meeting will be on Zoom as well. So we'll definitely have to kind of check out what's going on with the budget there. But interesting, like you said, I just read some news this morning about Seattle teachers going on strike, and so there just ain't no school in Seattle right now.
Really?
And, yeah, because they're on strike, and they're number one thing they're asking for is more money. Of course, they're asking for less classroom sizes, and they're asking for better protections and so on and so forth. So, in a world where we got cities where teachers are going on strike, finding some more money for the education system is a good thing, of course, especially if it involves paying teachers a little bit more.
Man, at least a livable wage, at the very least. And I was confused at whether she was telling us or asking us. I think Sister Wanda Lewis is asking us, will it be on Zoom? And yeah, the meeting just passed. It was yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, so we can try to dig in it and find out if there's some recording of it somewhere.
Hopefully. I don't see why, public meetings like that in government entities aren't using Zoom more. Like it was a big thing when City Council announced that they will be using Zoom regularly. It's a public meeting.
It's still new, and we're still, there's a lot of demand for them to open these meetings up more. Everybody's used to doing this stuff in closed meetings, man. Like closed meetings is not even the term. The meetings be open, but they don't advertise them. They don't have them at times that people can go see them. They don't push for people to come and participate as much as they need to. So so they're coming off of that, and now like there's no excuse for them to not be Zoomed or not be live streamed or something like that. But it's still all new, especially in Omaha. Kimmer Snipe says you should be able to go back and watch the budget hearing, and if 3 members of the board agree, they can hold a public meeting. I can't remember the name. So that wasn't a public meeting. Is that what you're saying, Kimmer, on that one? If it wasn't, it was not a public meeting because I thought it was, but she says if 3 members of the board agree, they can hold a public meeting. Another one, yeah, give us a little insight on that. She says, but I asked for public meetings so that we as board members could work through information we receive from conferences in public. But yes, the meetings are recorded.
Okay, so where can we go to get that? Is that the OPS website or?
She said the meeting was public. So yeah, so I guess if there's enough people, especially on the board, that think that it's important to have public meetings, they can ask for one. We can have some. They can push for that. They are recorded so that we can see that. But if we can see the recording, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're able to have any input.
Right, and even then, when you're watching the recording, the meeting already happened. The decisions were already made. We definitely have to have people in the room and at the table. So yes, the Documenters program is heating up. It is gearing up to actually send people and mobilize. So if you are interested in being a part of the Documenters, definitely reach out and we'll try to help facilitate and get you set up.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It is a paid thing, right?
Paid positions, right? Yeah. As a matter of fact, like I said, even if I can't meet her in person today, I'll probably have a phone call with her. She's getting closer to making that thing happen. And I just sat in a meeting with the reader who is helping facilitate the Documenters program to be here. And so yeah, this stuff is happening now. So So that we want to start putting that word out. If anybody wants to join the documenters team and record some of these meetings, definitely put that. That's something that we've all said we've needed, for a while. You can watch some of them. A lot of times you can't. A lot of times they're going on live when you're at work or whatever. So, and it's just cool to have somebody that's there representing, documenting, and coming back and being able to report some of these things as well a little bit better, and to have more discussion about it. So that's what's up. Rome's Reviews in the chat says the railroad is looking at striking September 16th next week. The railroad controls the U.S. economy like the ships control the world economy.
Man,
Huge thing. Yeah, man. Huge thing. We're just talking about these teachers striking in Seattle. I mean, first of all, we're in that climate right now of people demanding their jobs be pay a living wage and be satisfying in some way. And especially in a world where there's a lot of jobs still, they have choices now. So this is prime time for people to start striking if they feel like they're not being treated well. And especially in a world where I read another article in California where the school system in California is asking for their people in their area to rent rooms to teachers because their teachers are having a hard time finding housing.
man, is that bad? I mean, again, I think it was Ohio, the school system in Ohio, that just bought a whole building to house their teachers. Like,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
your employer has to be a landlord now. Is that bad?
And these are major cities that got probably way more funding than we got here. So, it's everything is always on the verge. So, a $20 million boost is definitely a help for sure.
I did have a quick idea though to that 20 million, which be interesting to see. And we talked about this not really happening in the schools enough, but the school contracting with community organizations and maybe dropping some of those dollars on them to come in and do after school programs and after school programming and things that other supplementary programming for the students that involves the community in the school system that keeps the students involved in the community, and then that also could possibly get some money circulating through the community through the school. So hopefully we'll see some of that also coming up, but that's just an idea.
It's a good idea. I hope that somebody thought of it too and brought it up, and it's on the it's on the table. If not, we can figure out how we can get it on the table for sure.
Man, for sure.
Switching gears real quick. First of all, Augie Kid is in the house. Says good morning, First Sky family. What's going on, bro? That's what's up, man. Like I said, man, 3 musicians in the room up at 6 in the morning. That's just it's y'all didn't sleep the night before. That's what it is. Okay, I understand now. You didn't go to bed yet.
Let me ask you this. Paul saying, did y'all sleep last night? Did y'all? Yeah. Marcy said, yeah.
Okay, all
Very
right.
barely.
I knew he didn't. Augie Kid up at 6 in the morning. That means he went. That means he just got done doing something at 5.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Augie Kid. Once again, if you don't know where Buddi is, he is live from the Culxr House right now
Live from the Culxr
in Omaha, Nebraska. So that's what's up. Switching gears real quick before we go to a break. Kimmer Snipes says, I went to view the trial against Chief Smotter this week one day. Crazy. Our police department is corrupt AF.
Man, I read into that story. I was looking into it. Y'all let us know. Is that something y'all want to talk about?
Oh, this one I want to talk about it now. Now that you said that.
Do you know about this story? Did you catch this story?
I didn't catch it. No.
Yeah, so it's a discrimination story. There's an officer. It's a woman officer who's saying that she did not get the support and treatment that she deserved and felt was appropriate, and now she's calling for
So I remember that, but I didn't know that the trial happened. The trial is going on and all that right now. So that's new.
Yeah.
So the stuff that's coming out. I can't wait to hear what Kimmer has to say about it. You're right, Wanda Lewis. You might have to get Kimmer a camera so she can walk if she's in these spots. She says I'll talk more about it Wednesday. I have a doctor's appointment this morning. Yes,
Okay.
yes, we'll definitely hear about it next week Wednesday for sure. Love to dig deep a little bit on that one. So
yeah, it's good in the hood.
It was good in the hood. Let's take a quick break. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Live from the Culxr House, Omaha, Nebraska. And Buddi3 Da Gawd is in town. So that's what's up. Stay tuned. We'll come back and talk a little bit more And stay tuned for a little later. We'll definitely have the Culxr House cats on deck and talk a little bit about what's going on in the haps, the extensive haps that we got going on today. Stay tuned. If you're on Facebook, do us a favor and share the show. It's going down. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't remember. That's wrong. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
Welcome back.
Little Pops groove going on there. What's up, Pops? Appreciate the groove. And we're back. We are in Omaha, Nebraska at the same time right now, which is a trip.
Yeah, man.
No, Brother Valentine, that track is not on the Spotify playlist. That is one of Pop's originals. Pops sounds like you need to get that on Spotify so folks can get down on it. I can throw it on the First Sky Omaha listen button though as well, our 24/7 radio station that we got going on over there on the channel. Go to firstsky.omaha.com, hit the listen button, and you got a celebration of black music going on and stuff you're not going to hear on Spotify. So there you go.
That exclusive.
Yeah, welcome back. It's 7:37 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, thanks for joining us. We are broadcasting live from Omaha, Nebraska. Buddi3 Da Gawd is live at the Culxr House. Shout out to Marcy Yates and Augie Kid, who's there making an appearance as well. Squad in the house. And let's make it happen. So thanks very much for joining us on this special occasion. And if you're on Facebook, do us a favor and share the show. We still need to get as many people in the room as we can talking. And also, Rome's Reviews gave us a little update on our YouTube page. Already up to, what did he say, 160?
140. Man, you need to get your readers on, bro.
I'm looking. I was looking for memory. Trust me, I got the big screen on. I can see all things.
Okay, got the orthopedic screen on.
The orthopedic screen on, everything real big on it. Yes,
yeah, magnifier.
Yeah, 140 subscribers on YouTube. So thanks for everybody that has joined YouTube as well. Tell a friend, and let's keep on doing it. Now, of course, the major conversation that happens with the people that we call the chat chimers happens over on Facebook, on the regular Facebook page, First Sky Omaha. But you can also do some chat chiming over here on YouTube as well, because we're definitely going to read those off when you do the chat. So that's what's happening. Kimmer Snipes is over on YouTube right now. So is Mayor Sanchez. Appreciate you. And don't forget, we're also on Twitter. We're picking up the pace on Twitter a little bit too. Everybody kind of likes some of the headlines and stuff over there. And that scene is growing as well. And we do go live on Twitter as well. So definitely check that out. It's more your speed too. In the meantime, between time, let's jump into some more discussions on some things. And again, I can't stress enough. If you're on Facebook, do us a favor, share the show on your page. Let's get as many people talking as we can. Love to hear some different opinions and deep dive into some discussion. What's on your mind over there, buddy?
Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard, especially on this next situation. Continue to follow the money, pivoting a little bit. Jumping into Lincoln, man. This coming out of Omaha World Herald, though. Nebraska officials expect to receive nearly $200 million from the federal government, which they're planning to devote to expanding broadband across the state, which is huge news. Shout out to Bill King, bossing with us, already kind of ahead of the curve, getting broadband internet and internet services available on some of the reservations. So shout out to our native brothers and sisters out there who have access now. But Governor Pete Ricketts is announcing multiple pools of federal funding, which are coming to Nebraska. And Ricketts described broadband as "quote unquote" basic infrastructure that is crucial to improving the lives of residents in the state as a whole. And he says, when we have it, we can expand. Last week, the U.S. Department of Treasury approved $87.7 million for Nebraska alone to increase broadband internet access to an estimated 21,000 homes and businesses. The funding was outlined for this purpose in Legislative Bill 1024. Which state lawmakers passed earlier this year and is designated for Nebraska's 1st and 3rd congressional district. So again, the same pool of money that we've been looking at that's coming into North Omaha, the 350, possibly $400 million that's going to come in. This also is where this money is coming from for broadband across the state. Ricketts said that he also expects the state to receive more than $107 million from 2 other federal programs, plus a federal grant that's available for internet service providers and public power districts. He also said Nebraska may receive even more federal funding based on the need within the state. So bags aplenty coming into Nebraska, and it's good news that it's going towards broadband, man. You kind of, if you have access to internet, you kind of underestimate the impact it has in your life and how much it advances and allows you to do things that you might not otherwise be able to do. And even when you do have internet, having decent internet, having a good high-speed connection can also go a long way. I mean, for instance, for us operating out of the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, it was very, very hard for us to operate coming out of that area with rolling blackouts, brownouts, internet coming out, the power itself just going in and out. So, having that can go a very, very long way. You also take in consideration the conversation we had with Senators Wayne and McKinney, put some respect on their name, talking about the need for more tech, jobs and more tech education and training and experience in North Omaha. So if we can get, broadband, can get better internet in Omaha, North Omaha, that can make a difference. That can go along with the other investments that we're seeing in the community.
And shout out to Senator Carol Blood, put some respect on her name as well, for also hipping us to some of the new tech changes that's going to be happening with broadband. How it's going to be coming from satellites in areas that they can't get lines to, and stuff like that too. So we're learning a lot about it. That's a big topic for us. Seeing is the majority of what we do is live streamed. It's definitely been a topic for us ever since the Mind and Soul days, like Buddy's talking about. You would not believe the conversations I had with Cox on the phone over trying to get steady internet just to be able to run the station over there. It was just a constant mess, and it was only one provider. We didn't have a choice to go to another provider as well. I had to deal with Cox or have nothing. So that was a nightmare. And then it's also in our world too, like you said, with Bill King, who was ahead of the curve and it started an initiative where he was getting broadband in places that doesn't have it now. So that brings me to a question about this particular article. It's all fine and good that 20 million is going to go. Is it 20 or 40? I don't know what's going on in my 20s and 40s these days.
I told you, man, you need your readers. You need your readers a day. It's 200 million. 200 million going to
I'm going off of memory. I'm not looking at the article. So 200 million is going. Where is it going? Because there's also a lot of new buildings, new construction and development happening out west, where there needs to be infrastructure laid for all these new homes around the lake they're trying to make and all that kind of mess. Are they putting this 200 million into places that need it, or are they talking about spending that on new infrastructure? What side of town is this going to be going down? Tiff Alley, these new lines, like what? Where is the money going?
This is across the whole state. So if you remember, think back to when Ricketts declined like that $100 or so million, and he was, wondering. Well, it basically the result of that was, rather than the state, getting a lot of the funds, it ended up where rural Nebraska and then the east side of Omaha kind of got a lot of those funds, and that's really where this is going to. I'm taking from this article that the big thing for this is rural Nebraska getting access to internet and getting better access, which can completely change their whole world, as far as their ability to access the outside world, to order stuff, to
Yeah.
sell stuff. It changes the game. So I think that's where the focus is with this, is mostly rural Nebraska.
I need some specifics on that. Rural definitely needs it, but so does North Side. Like Wanda Lewis is saying, 24th Street. We can't ever get hardly any signal down there. Like it doesn't make any sense for it to be that busy of a thoroughway and not and enough residents and people around there for us not to really have decent internet over there. What's
Mhm.
going on with that? I was trying to get the highest speeds I can get when I lived on Spalding Street, and it was I think I can't even remember what it was, but it was something that was like the lowest, the lowest that you can get is what they were offering. They didn't offer anything above any kind of speed to do any real anything, any real business, any real anything. Um,
Well, all right, go ahead. You done?
oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off, but I did want to add to your question. Not only is it going towards rural areas, of course, there's also money that's going to go directly to internet service providers. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to use that for. To hire more people, to increase their equipment.
Yeah.
Not sure what that's looking like. But what is interesting is they will also we're all about the information ecosystem here on the show, and some of that money will go towards the launching of a website. Apparently, I didn't even know the state has a broadband coordinator. So there's a state internet guy that I did not know about. His name is Patrick Redmond, and he's saying that there will be an education website called broadband.nebraska.gov that's actually expected to launch this upcoming Monday. And the website will act as a quote unquote one-stop shop, listing all of the broadband programs available to residents and businesses. So if you have broadband questions, apparently you're supposed to be able to go to this site and get the information you need.
Remember too, we learned from Senator Carol Blood. Put some respect on her name. A lot of lines are already in the ground. They're already laid. They just have, because there's such a monopoly on the internet. They've chosen to leave certain ones off and out until it makes financial sense for them to turn them on, I guess. But the infrastructure is already there. So, and again, where is $200 million going? Really, kind of, I'm not satisfied with what the answer is quite yet.
Mm.
Brother Valentine says, always had to use hotspots in my North Omaha office despite having broadband service. Exactly.
It's not.
If we read something that says $200 million is being put on broadband, and then we having the same conversation in 6 months to a year about how bad it is in North Omaha, then that wouldn't be far fetched. Where is where is this money going? Where is the broadband help and infrastructure going? William King had to take it upon himself to bring it out to parts of rural Nebraska and the reservation, because nobody had any plans to lay nothing for them. And within all that work that he did in the past 4 or 5 years on that stuff, we still have the same speeds in North Omaha that we had 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
So good questions. In the chat, real quick, Alice Brown in the house says, "Good morning for Sky Omaha Purpose Funds and Tech for Hopeful Omaha North and Rural Nebraska." Okay, and that's great. I know that rural needs them. Rural absolutely does need stuff like broadband services for sure. But again, so does North Omaha. Miss Erica Felt says, "I'll never." And good morning to you, Miss Erica Felt. I saw you say good morning earlier. Thank you. Hope you're feeling well. She
Yeah.
says, "I'll never forget being at Culxr House, where many artists had set up to sell, but no one could catch a signal to pay online for items." There you go.
Mm.
Thankfully, I was trusted to take the image and pay once I hit the freeway. So yeah, she had to do some extra just to be able to do that.
So you can't even make money. Can't even
Can't
open up shop without a decent internet connection.
got to use hotspots and so on and so forth. So first of all, shout out. We're a little worried about it. We're worried, and not saying anything against Culxr House. We're worried about We're worried about internet speeds everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So we were worried a little bit, like, is the internet speed gonna be fast enough for us to do this show? Because it's at Culxr House. Culxr House have been doing podcasts and doing all kinds of stuff. We'll learn later from Marcy what they've been doing over there. But they've had the same battles. They are on 24th Street and had the same battles for this stuff. and figured out some workarounds so that they can broadcast out. And lucky for us, they did that. But like that's not a common thing on 24th Street to be able to do any kind of live streaming broadcast and so on and so forth because we just don't have the speeds.
Man, so imagine the limitations to creatives, on the north side trying to tap into this wealth of technology that is the internet, to touch the world, man. It makes it harder. Not just that, man. Think about the kids. Let's think about back to 2020 when OPS had to spend its own money to pay for hotspots for kids to be able to learn remotely. Just imagine, what that money could have been spent on had there already been an investment in internet in North Omaha. And also remember this is coming from the infrastructure, those infrastructure grades that President Biden sent out. I believe Nebraska got a C on that. So this is definitely a response to that report card.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We got some good mornings. First of all, I want to jump into the chat real quick. It's going off pretty good. Raina Williams says good morning with some sunshine. Thank you. Gail Allen says good morning, y'all. What's going on, Auntie? How you doing? Kimmer Snipe says, and parts of South Omaha, and we really mean East Omaha. So so I'm commenting on where I know Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, the 24th Street. That's North Omaha. So I'm glad that you were able to also tell this story about South Omaha because that really means that we got a couple of reports from two different sides of town that really make it all of East Omaha needs broadband help, needs internet help, needs a lot of different help. When it comes to infrastructure. So
shout out to partners, the Reader. The Reader is located in South Omaha, like right in the heart of South Omaha, man. We definitely need good internet to be able to. Maybe they want to broadcast and start doing some things.
It's not even a maybe. We've been trying to help them broadcast, and the hurdle that we've come into. We literally were wiring stuff up over in that building and try to get Chris Bowling to be able to broadcast live out of the Reader building. It's the infrastructure of the internet that is stopping a lot of stuff that's going on. So,
also,
that's our main battle.
And I can also imagine that the lack of internet, viable internet in the north side is a barrier to bringing in some of these employers that we're talking about bringing into North Omaha. Like, can we really have a Facebook data center and a Google data center next to the airport if the internet sucks over here? Like, come on. Is Facebook and Google going to come if the internet is bad?
Well, is it bad over in those areas? Carter Lake and the airport is different from 24th Street and 24th Street South. So I don't even know how the infrastructure is over there, to be honest.
That's the point.
So we'll see. Brother in Omar Valentine says, did anything come about from the internet study the 24th Street BID did last year? Forgot they did that. Forgot about that study. I haven't heard nothing. So we would get the investigative reporters on the case.
Yeah, that's why we just love studies around here.
Mr. Eric Fell says Cox was going in and out around 3 a.m. this morning. It does it almost every night. I'm up at Cunningham Lake. I'm considering the T-Mobile hotspot for the house, but need to ask others if it works. Yeah, and it's crazy that the average consumer. And listen, don't Generation X. It will live through dial-up, bro. So like, there's two things I got to say about that. Number one, don't be messing with my high speed now. I've already paid my dues with the dial-up. Secondly, though, we need to. We need to demand more because we are used to slow speeds. There's a part of the trauma of the slow speeds that makes you go, well, it's faster than dial-up. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so we need to step up game on.
You got AOLP PTSD, man.
Straight up, bro. I can probably beatbox the way it sounded and everything.
I just hear it in the back of my. It's almost haunting, like the.
Come on, man, straight up.
I just want to play Captain Crunch. I just want to play my game.
Straight up. Whitney Richardson in the house. Good morning, brothers. How you doing, sis? Appreciate you very much. Let's see. She says this makes no sense and feels so racist. It's 2022. I mean, it's a form of like segregation, bro. We're digitally segregated is what's going on.
Digital redlining.
Straight up, digital redlining. Where is the money going? It better not go outside of them red lines. I know
Hey.
that. Man, okay, so this is going off. Kimmer Snipe says that because the city decided not to spend funding on the internet infrastructure, right?
Mhm.
She says that didn't Carol Blood say the infrastructure was okay in Omaha and we needed other things because this came up the other day, right? Talking about the city ARPA funds. Yeah, yes and no. Senator Carol Blood, put some respect on her name, revealed that the infrastructure is already there. There's lines that are running all over the place, all through North Omaha and everywhere. They just have those lines turned off because of the monopoly of Cox and like there's only a couple companies at best that can do this. Cox and CenturyLink, right? There's really not any other company that can do that. So it's,
I used to live by Wakanda and we had HughesNet. I don't know if you ever heard of HughesNet internet. Man, that was the worst internet I ever had in my life. I had to literally climb up on my own roof to take down the antenna. It was like, man,
anyway, the point is that there's a monopoly going on here with these companies, and so if they choose to not turn something on for a certain place, then they just won't. They just don't have to do it, and that's what's going on. We didn't even know. We're thinking that there's got to be lines laid and all kinds of stuff in order to get high speed internet in some places. Lines are already there. They future proofed that when they laid them in the first place. They just have these things off. So when you come up with money for quote unquote infrastructure for internet, what does that go to? It sounds like to me that they're talking about laying new lines somewhere else in other parts of town, but or maybe there wasn't. Maybe a lot of it didn't get out rural quite yet. But whatever it is, how many times have we been talking about funds that's coming into North Omaha for broadband infrastructure, and we still got bad signal on 24th Street?
yeah. Are there any business owners in North Omaha who have like gigabit upload download? Like, do you have fiber optic?
Lucia Rodriguez says, "I am the farthest on my team from the office, and there are times when I want to work from home and can't because of the internet." That's what I'm saying. In
There you
this
go.
day and age, when people are learned how to work from home and are demanding that in their jobs now, and business owners are allowing that to happen, of course they go get all this backlash. Like get the right speeds at my house, please.
Yeah. Kimra saying this seems like a neighborhood issue all day. And I have to agree, man. My man Aggie Kid is laying it out. He's telling you where the red lines are. He says Cox definitely plays favorites. In my experience, downtown is the best place to live for the consistent service. All these corporations and businesses. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. Says the only time I experienced an outage, it'd be early in the morning, 1 to 3, and it'd be fixed by 6 a.m. before everyone wakes up.
man, we used to go through the blues trying to get Cox out to Malcolm X to do anything. To do anything.
He said, plus I'm on the lowest tier, $50. Best service I ever experienced. Uh, I'm talking 30 tabs open before I experience slowness. 2 computers in my phone all at once. Cox plays favorites.
Man.
Definitely favorite parts of town. We can look at the density maybe, and maybe that's what they're saying. They're saying like there's more people there. It's a more dense area. That more businesses they need all that infrastructure. But it's just there's no reason why they can't have it in other areas. They're just not. Brother Valentine says at one North Omaha location, I was paying for a Planet Fitness membership just to use their faster Wi-Fi for Zoom calls. That's smart,
Man.
bro. $10 a month to have some faster internet. And then on top of that, you might stumble on a treadmill and knock some stuff out on top of that. Kimber
Man.
Snipes says the 30th Street South over South is ridiculous. Just so happens to also be where Southside Terrace is too. I couldn't work from home when I lived over there. Woof. What's up with that? What's up with the towers having slow internet?
No, that's a good question. Like, where exactly is it going to, as far as how much is going to laying wire after laying wire? Are they putting up antennas? Are they hiring people?
We also had another experience we had with the internet when it comes to Cox and when it comes to Mine and Soul was that our antenna was on the towers in Benson, and they had to be connected to internet up there too, and the speeds were always super slow up there too because it was the tower. Even though they're sitting there next to multiple Wi-Fi towers, getting internet data, we still our particular account, because it was an account in the towers from Cox, was super slow. There was no reason for that to be super slow up there when Cox is running some of their Wi-Fi signals from there. So there's a lot to it, man. There's a lot to it. I like what Marianne Williams is saying. Gen X trauma, you got mail. The expectation and anxiety those 3 words cause is hysterical. Mr. Erkenfeld, CenturyLink is trash. I tried it. Yeah, CenturyLink is trash.
Man.
The installer broke my fence, didn't test it before he left, and so I was stuck for the weekend with no internet. And you could tell by customer service reaction, they knew it didn't work in my neighborhood. Then I had to pay Cox to install it again when we were only broken up for 3 days. So when I say a lot about this thing that I'm feeling like is what we call a monopoly, even though it's not a monopoly, it's kind of a duopoly, really. Like it has to do with Cox and CenturyLink are the only 2 people you can call to get some internet in your situation. Now they're starting to do a lot more hotspots. Now that 5G is here, you can have some faster speeds via cellular and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's still bad, and even cellular coverage and stuff is bad in certain areas. It's still all digital redlining.
Man.
Lots of stuff in the chat. Definitely check it out. Kimmer Snipe says I live next to Girls Inc. over south, and the terraces were in my backyard. Whole neighborhood connectivity was horrible. CenturyLink kept blaming it on the news for fiber optic cables. So Kimmer, was the Girls Inc. If you live by, you're saying that even though you live next door to Girls Inc., the internet's still bad over there because the tower's in your backyard. I was wondering about that because I'm thinking places like Girls Inc., how's their connections? I'd like to know. So anyway, obviously we can keep talking about these things.
Yeah.
Anytime we hear about it, that's a hard one, man. These ARPA funds that are coming in, we definitely need a bunch of stuff affordable. Housing, we need jobs, we need infrastructure, we need all kinds of things. But broadband is a necessity these days. You got to have the right kind of infrastructure, and if we're dealing with physical hardlining, we're also dealing with digital hardlining, and that's something that we got to pay attention to as well and try to do something about.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's about access to the future, and that's why space is the place was so important to make it our. That's why we felt it was important to make that our theme last year, because we got to make sure that we're having access to these spaces. Not just physical spaces, but digital spaces as well, and this goes a long way to that. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on this, man. I mean, one of the big takeaways from this for me is the fact that there's even a state broadband task force. I didn't even know that there's a whole agency in the state directed and geared towards nothing but looking at internet. So we might have to have my man Patrick Redmond come through, or one of the spokespersons from that agency to answer some questions.
And we might have to do a first Sky Omaha letter writing situation and bombard them with some requests.
Hey.
8:03 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. You're now in the second hour of First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, man. We are live from the Culxr House. We're gonna be talking to Marcy Yates here pretty soon. Squad in the house. We got Augie Kid as well. Man, it's a good day. It's a good day. Buddi3 Da Gawd is in Omaha, Nebraska. We'll be talking about a kickback possibly on Sunday, and a new space to check out on Monday. So we're doing that thing, finally hopping around a little bit. Thank you for you guys that are always hanging in there with us when we try new stuff. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. Stay tuned. Got more to talk about and some special guests to talk to as well. First Sky Omaha is going down. Yeah, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Hey.
Hey, thanks for joining us again. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning,
In the morning.
live from the Culxr House, Omaha, Nebraska. Buddi3 Da Gawd is in town. It's going down. My Aunt Gail is saying it, and she's saying it well. Just goes to show how racism permeates every aspect. Whoa,
Oh, come on, Brother Vaughn. Come on.
Brother Chapman. Now you know. Just goes to show how racism permeates every aspect of living in this country. They think of everything. It's almost unbelievable. It's like they lay awake at night thinking of how many ways they can do harm. I got to blame it on racism. I got to blame it on capitalism too. They hide behind capitalism a lot. Well, it's not cost effective to have this in that area and blah blah blah. And that seems to be something that is accepted. I'm gonna have to go back and check out what Brother Von Chapman is talking about here. When you got diatribes, you go send it to us in the email so we can talk about it or something. We got to, I don't know. He says sticking with follow the money. It makes a little business sense to contribute to use Turnback Tax. Turnback Tax is something we were going to talk about too. It is available now.
It's the next. Actually, let's go ahead and get into it. Speaking of Turnback Tax.
Thank you, because I might have read that whole thing right now.
Yeah, no, just go ahead. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Thank you, Brother Von Chapman. We gotta get this phone line open, man. Just next time, just call in. Next time, just call in. But yes, but you are on point, Brother Von Chapman, and I appreciate you and thank you for bringing that up because that was my next topic, my next question. We're talking about investment in North Omaha. We're talking about investment in many ways. You see, we need investment in schools, we need investment in infrastructure, and we need investment in just the people. So this Turnback Tax can go a long way towards that. If you're not familiar or you just didn't know, as Paul mentioned again, the North Omaha Turnback Tax Grant is a grant that goes to North Omaha businesses and entrepreneurs to help them grow within the defined areas within North Omaha. And yes, that application is now available for grant proposals. And they are looking for several different stipulations for the proposals. One is that each proposal showcase some sort of important historical aspect to North Omaha. So again, keep the history, the cultural, the heritage of North Omaha in mind when you're filling out these applications and presenting these proposals. Also, think of a way to how can your proposal assist with the reduction of street and gang violence? Again, we're trying to keep these youth out of trouble. So those are the first two, and then the last stipulation is that it must assist with small business and entrepreneurship growth within defined areas within North Omaha. So again, if you can do those three things, then the chances are you may be selected for this grant. Applications are due October 5th, so the clock is ticking. You only got a few weeks. Don't think you have all day to brainstorm and come up with these ideas. You can go to Douglas County dash ne.gov for that. We're going to drop the link in the chat. But again, if you are interested in applying for this grant, you have some ideas that you feel like may address these three things. Again, showcasing the history, reducing street and gang violence, and assisting with business and entrepreneurship, then this is for you.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get this link so we can drop that in the chat here in a second.
Yeah. Appreciate that. I was looking for that myself. Douglas County, I think I got it. Actually, there you go. Cool. So you gotta be quicker than that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and throw that in just in case. I kind of did a read through a little bit of Brother Chapman's comment, and he's basically trying to hold some people accountable, hold some situations that have to do with that money accountable. Definitely go back and read that. We'll read through some of this, and then possibly Monday break it down and start talking about it a little bit more in detail. But and the reason why too is because the Omaha Day celebration is something that we want to get to be a part of in a bigger way as an organization ourselves, First Sky Omaha. And it looks like Turnback Tax money is allocated to these celebrations, and he's trying to definitely hold the people people that are running these celebrations responsible for that type of thing. He's also talking a lot about the Omaha business and philanthropy community. Talking about ticket sales, raising over 200 million. And possibly unaccounted for profit, by the way. Who is White Rhino Productions? We know who White Rhino is. And that's Calvin Williams, a guy that we worked with before, and there is places that they get funding to be able to throw some of these events that they do. So good questions and good things you're coming up with here. I definitely want to dig deeper into it when we have a little bit more time to do that. Definitely. As a matter of fact, I'm going to copy this whole comment out because there's a lot in here that we can go through,
Yeah.
asking a lot of questions that we have too, and wondering about it. Wanda Lewis says North Omaha activist Cheryl Weston showed up at the Turnback Tax meeting, and she had many questions that are yet to be answered. They suggested that she submit something in writing. Okay. Now, sure. Kimmy Snipe says the money can also be used to support historical events, things. So yeah, going back to Brother Von Chapman's comment here, definitely want some records, want to hold things and people and organizations accountable. Definitely want to know where that money's going to every year. Is there some nepotism going on? Is there some stuff happening? Lots of good questions in there that we'll try to break down and talk about another time, maybe Monday, because it's kind of on my radar right now, this turnback tax right now. Every time that we come across stuff like this, we have to assess whether or not it's something for us. Is this something that we ought to, as an organization for Sky Omaha, we run this because we have generous hosts and reoccurring members like you, the chat chimers, and a lot of other people that are helping us by giving us donations in order to keep this thing running. But we won't turn down grant money either if it comes our way and the circumstances are right about it. And if there's things out there that can help enhance some of these conversations, and it's not just all of our backs to be able to do what we do, great. But so when something like the turnback tax comes up, we have discussion. This is something that we need to apply for. What would it mean if we did? Where's the money coming from? We follow the money on it. All what's the stipulations with it, so on and so forth. So these are all good questions. Also, Brother Valentine is saying, being in the profession of acquiring funding, you welcome an accountability structure because when you are doing right, that audit report becomes your showcase of how successful you are. So yeah, records. We need accountability. We need records. We need people to step up and explain, be transparent about where the money comes from, where it's going.
That's a good point. I'll say it without pointing any fingers or saying any names. Just out of experience, there are times when I've seen organizations either just outright mishandle the money or just didn't even document what they did with the money. And that leads to or we kind of wonder why some organizations in our community specifically don't get the funding that we feel like they might deserve. And that's kind of a part of it. So yeah, it does go a long way to be able to have accountability structure when you are dealing with funding and things like that. So yeah.
At one point we talked about when Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney, put some respect on their names, were on the show. We talked a little bit about how businesses and organizations, even nonprofit organizations, especially in our neighborhoods, don't always have a whole lot of business training. Record keeping records, not just financial ones, but records of things that you've done. It's kind of a profession. There's bigger organizations that have people that are there strictly to capture, to record what's going on in the organization in order to lay it out for funding the next year or whatever.
It's
And
called accounting.
say again.
It's called accounting.
It's a few different things, especially for nonprofit. It's not just accounting, because accounting refers to just the money, but it's they're also need to record what their
Programming.
their impact. Yeah, their impact on the community they're trying to impact with their programming. So you need testimonials and things about what if that money was spent right in your organization, what it did for the community, and how the community feedback and so on. A lot of organizations that we mess with and been a part of and worked with didn't even have that on their radar to do any kind of surveying afterwards to find out any assessment later, because it takes work, it takes expertise, and it takes a staff to be able to do that. So I mean that's something as a business, as First Sky Omaha business, we struggle with ourselves on really trying to get recorded what our impact is out here, what we're doing, Why is it that, where the money's coming from? Be transparent about it. Sometimes it's not even a thing where people are doing it on purpose. It's just like you don't have the personnel to break it down. You just going. You speak, you handle, you put out the fires and you handle things as it comes, and then you look up a year later and you got to go back and dig through the receipts so you can figure out what you did.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
and also this, kind of difficult to just be aware of that when you're in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, there is that, and I do remember a conversation, that I had with, and I will say this name, shout out to brother Leo Lewis, and he kinda got my wheels turning on how do you do that some of that stuff as far as getting quantitative and qualitative, data to be able to tell the story of what it is. But at the end of the day, you need to figure those things out because it is important to keep getting the funding. Which brings me to the solution. We talk about solutions journalism here, and these are definitely the problems plaguing organizations in our community, which is why I'm excited about what Senator Terrell McKinney is talking about with this innovation hub, because that can be a place where people can in the community can go to get that education, to get that training, to get that information and those resources. Because that at the end of the day, really, there's not a lack of talent, there's not a lack of ideas, there's not a really there's a lot of resources in North Omaha, but the education and the information to be able to take those resources, take those talents, take those ideas, and do something with it is really what seems to be lacking.
Right.
So
Very
shout out
true.
to Terrell McKinney. Definitely looking forward to see what they do with that innovation hub, because I think that that's where this can come in the long run. And speaking of the Turnback Tax, you can actually reach out to Senator Terrell McKinney if you have some questions or ideas or anything surrounding the Turnback Tax. He's been very, very diligent and vigilant on keeping people up to date on what's going on. You can call him at 402-471-2612. Again, that's 402-471-2612, or you can email them at tmckinney@leg.ne.gov, and we'll try to post that in the chat as well.
Yep. As you can see from this older flyer here, that they had a discussion on September 7th. Might be a good idea to give him a call again and find out what comments were what kind of things they did talk about during this public hearing, and find out what came of that. North Omaha Turnback Tax and Grant Committee will hold a public hearing that happened Wednesday, September the 7th, so 2 days ago. Love to hear about that, but you see the email and the phone numbers down there on the bottom of the flyer too. We'll put that in the chat, and we'll ask him to come back and talk about this a little bit. Definitely need to hear about it.
Definitely.
I can see this is something that we'll dig into, especially through Brother Chapman's comment there. We'll do that. Wanda Lewis, to finish this off, says they know what they're doing. They think we're uninformed. They lack in accountability reporting, something that hasn't been enforced. That's another reason why it hasn't been enforced.
Right,
Yeah,
definitely needs to be enforced. My final thought is: does anyone know how much this grant is for? How much money do you get with this?
good question. Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it's not saying anything on the government website, on the legislative website. So yeah, we'll have to look into it.
Yep. 8:16 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
We'll take a quick break and come right back. Before we go, Alice Brown, who's a new name in the chat, says, "Awesomeness here. Please share. We need all our people support in and out of the state. Omaha love and pride from Texas."
Hey, Texas in the building. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Alice Brown, please share the show and let the Omaha family know in Texas what's going on here, because we realize that that's part of our strength here at First Sky Omaha, is that people that are connected to First Sky Omaha from other places get to hear certain things that they're not going to get on Channel 7. They ain't going to get on Fox 42.
Nah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then we need your feedback too on what's some of the stuff that you would like to hear about when you're with your connection to Omaha, and all those good things too. So yeah, finding our place, finding our strength, and really, and it's all because of everybody who is tuning in and chiming into the chat, having discussions. These discussions are shaped in a way that, when there's something you want to talk about, this is what we start talking about. This is the rabbit hole we go down has to do with how the conversation goes. We
Yes.
can lead the conversation. We can throw a couple things out there that we think is interesting that you might want to hear, and then the conversation goes on from there. So Appreciate live from Texas. I appreciate you in a big way. Please do us a favor. Let all the Omaha, Texas folks know what we're doing here and get them on the show and let's have some more conversation. But
Yeah, man.
let's take a quick break before we get on to the next thing. And like I said, stay tuned. We have an extensive haps happening coming up. We also are going to talk to some of the brothers over there at the Culxr House as well. Buddy is live from the Culxr House in Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, man, it's going down. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Stay tuned. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, man. That's going down. All right, sounds good. Getting some answers in the chat, as a matter of fact. First of all, Brother Valentine says, are you asking about this year's total amount for the Turnback Tax? Wanda Lewis says, they said it's only $78,000 in the pot this year due to COVID from the previous year.
Okay.
Yeah, Brother Chapman had some stuff in his diatribe that was talking about where that money comes from, how it gets raised every year, and so on. I'm with you. I'm sold. I'm sold on digging into this subject and finding out what's going on and what and why.
Yeah.
Also, Christy, go ahead.
I'm going on a limb. It says it's called the Turnback Tax grant. So I'm thinking it's they're pulling this from some sort of pot of tax funds, whether it's property tax. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's coming from some pot of tax funds.
And who's pulling it and where and what pot is it coming from, and then does it go back to that same pot? And all these good questions that Brother Chapman brought up. Chrissy Norris says there's a meeting Sunday at North High 1 to 4. Senator Terrell McKinney put some respect on his name, and many other North orgs will be there. Cool, good haps to know about that. Appreciate that. We'll definitely talk about that in the haps a little later too. If you've got any other information or any links, go ahead and put them in the chat. Appreciate that. Ron's Review says I'm hosting a Domino's game this Saturday.
All right. Get some bones going.
Eric Sanchez want to slam him down. That's what's up.
Yeah, tacos and bones. I'm down.
Yeah, man, I'm with that. But Kimmer Snipes says comes from Mecca. The money does. Okay. Money they get back, then it's split between North and South Omaha.
Okay, what is Mecca?
Yeah, what is Mecca? So yeah, lots of questions on this. She said over South the board was always our councilman, commissioner, and a neighborhood leader. Over South the board was always our councilman, commissioner, and neighborhood leader. Okay. So yeah, a little more information coming out there. Yeah, gather your thoughts and let us know a little bit about that, and maybe this is something we could talk about. We'll definitely be talking about this Wednesday as well. Like I said, man, Brother Chapman's comment brought up a lot of questions.
Yeah,
that are even broader than the Turnback Tax situation. It's huge, and it's also a situation where we need to dive in because of it, the connection to the North Omaha, the Native Omaha days that we're trying to be more of a part of. So that's what's up. Erica felt that invitation. She said, "Daggett, when I feel better, we need a table night with cards and bones." She said she knows what Mira Sanchez is talking about there.
Actually, really quickly, hey Marcy, would you be down to have a game night at the Culxr House? Cards and bones? Absolutely.
There you go. Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. We'll actually be trying to bring on my man Marcy here in a second to give an update on what's going on, man. We can't. It's only right to be in the Culxr House. So we definitely got to get a man at the house. opportunity to let the peoples know what's going on.
Most def. You plug in your axe. Josh
Yeah,
taking the chat real quick says Mecca runs the Shy Center in Schwab Field downtown. Didn't know that. So they also run the Riverfront project. I did not know what Mecca was. She said comes from percentage hotel bookings in the downtown Mecca area. Wanda Lewis says, "Gotta learn, man. See, you guys got a whole bunch of stuff. I got to take some notes and definitely dig in and see what's going on there. So that's what's up. Thanks for the information. I can run with it a little bit." She says Metropolitan Entertainment and Convention Authority. Never heard of this Mecca. I've been in entertainment in the metropolitan area for years now.
never heard of it.
Romsbury said absolutely no gambling, takes the fun out of it. It's just a game. He's talking about his Bones game he wanted to put together. Yeah, I'm not a gambling dude anyway, man. I like my money. Wanda Lewis says most are located in the north side. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, okay, I see what you're talking about over there. We got a little tech thing we're gonna take care of real quick. And in the meantime, I definitely will talk about a couple little things here. Once again, it's 8:25 right now in Omaha, Nebraska. If you're just joining us, Buddi3 Da Gawd is in town. He's over at the Culxr House. We'll be talking to Marcy Yates soon. This is something that we're going to talk about coming up in the HAPS that I've been getting messages about all over the place. State of Emergency Town Hall meeting is going down at North High. I think this is what Chrissy Nora was talking about. Sunday, September 11th, 1 to 4. Everybody has been putting that out. Terrell McKinney first. Black Agenda Alliance is part of this situation too, which we'll be talking about. They got a bunch of stuff coming up in the HAPS as well. But yeah, this is supposed to be a strong town hall meeting happening here on Sunday. Definitely need to check it out. And if that's something that we can check out, then maybe we can do a little cookout or something after the meeting. And maybe I'll show up there and then come through representing and come through and have some little kickback or something like that since Buddy's in town. And we're working on it. But yeah, so that's something that is coming up, and I appreciate you, Christy North, for putting that link in the chat. I know that's the one that you're talking about, the event you're talking about. It's going to be very important. I really pay attention to stuff when Terrell McKinney especially is promoting it, because I know that he's the kind of cat that gets down to business, man. He don't do no frivolous meetings and studies, and if he's studying something or if he's having a meeting and a discussion about something, it's important if he's backing it.
Gonna get it done. Gonna get something done, man. So yeah, shout out. That's why we put some respect on his name around here. And yeah, if you can, I don't know, man. That's what, the 17th was that, or is that the 11th? That's this Sunday.
Yeah, that's the 11th. This Sunday, yeah, Sunday the 11th.
Try to pull up to that.
That's what I'm saying, and maybe we can do a little cookout afterwards. Little first time.
I'll talk to God about getting the grill going. We'll see what we can make happen.
Word up. All right, before we get to our special guest, a couple little things you wanted to jump into, you said?
Yeah, man, we actually have some other news, some national news that we wanted to talk about, man, and letting the people know what's going on, man. This is definitely big coming out of the Associated Press. This is something that we've been talking about, especially to take in consideration when I think the FBI reported that Nebraska has the most active right-wing hate groups in the country. Especially in rural Nebraska. We talked about the relationship between the Omaha Police Department and Tactical 88 or 88 Tactical, whatever the name is. We even reported on that whole situation as far as the political leanings of 88 Tactical, and now more and more news is coming out about the relationship between law enforcement officers, elected officials, and even military members and far-right extremist groups. So just to let y'all know, we ain't tripping. This is a real thing for us to look out for. And again, big shout out to the Associated Press for reporting this. The names of hundreds of U.S. law enforcement officers, elected officials, and military members have appeared on elite membership roll of a far-right extremist group that is accused of playing a role in the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. That's according to a report released earlier this week. The Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism poured over more than 38,000 names on leaked Oath Keepers membership list and identified more than 370 people it believes currently works in law enforcement agencies, including as police chiefs and sheriffs. So even the higher ups are part of these organizations, and more than 100 people who are currently members of the military also a part of these organizations. It also identified more than 80 people who were running for or served in public office as of early August, and the membership information was compiled into a database published by the Transparency Collective, Distributed Denial of Secrets. Of course, the data raises concerns about the presence of extremists in law enforcement and the military who are tasked with enforcing laws and protecting the U.S. It's especially problematic for public servants to be associated with extremists at a time when lies about the 2020 election are fueling threats of violence against lawmakers and institutions. Actually, the report says even for those who claim to have left the organization when it began to employ more aggressive tactics back in 2014, it is important to remember that the Oath Keepers have espoused extremism since their founding, and this fact was not enough to deter these individuals from signing up. So, again, even if there are people who aren't involved in the extreme activities, i.e., the January 6th insurrection, these are still people who are holding official positions who have these extreme mentalities and philosophies and ideas. So definitely something to keep in mind.
Yep. Jillian posted, damn, that news is very disturbing. Yep. It absolutely is. It's definitely something. It's not new though. It's been going on for a while. And we've been talking about it. Rome's Review says Nebraska needs to pair with states that have the least amount of inmates and pair with the states with the least amount of hate groups. This is the shame. Christy Norris says one of the owners of T88 is a Bennington cop. Saturday and complained in I'm losing it in his uniform. Complained in his uniform and patrol car, whining because the sale was stopped by the woke left. They really don't like that woke. Ugly Kid in the chat says this isn't a surprise. The state's historic relationship with racism, hate groups, the Klan, and being part of why the Civil War kicked off. Nebraska, racist? Yeah, we've had the second largest Klan membership in the country. So yeah, we talk about these militia groups that are around us all the time. We talk about how it's a seriously the T88 thing always has been something that I've been uh, very have a bunch of feelings about because of the fact that it's such a mainstream type of situation. Hey, bring the kids. Let's have some ice cream and pizza and learn how to shoot people.
Man.
And and if you're a high ranking officer, come on, we have high ranking officer club specials for you. Come on through, so there's a lot, and it's here, it's all around us. It's no coincidence that it's correlated with a lot of the gun violence that's going on in the country. There's so much more of it that happens all the time, and yeah, it's just another way. It's another way that this is going on. So I brought that up in a couple other things. It's not completely relevant to Omaha, but it is in the way that you described it earlier, which is we're surrounded by a lot of groups.
Yeah.
And we got to pay attention to this kind of stuff too, because and then what Kimmer Snipes said earlier. Kimmer Snipes earlier said, listen, I just went to this Tosh Schmaderer thing. Our police force is corrupt.
Man.
She went to a hearing and is coming back saying that. So and then we can't forget about the situation with James Skurlock who passed away. In the association that the person the guy who shot him, the guy who killed him, his relationship with the police, his relationship with Tactical 88, his relationship with the Trump clan. You know what I'm saying? Like we are absolutely affected by it here.
And he was former military. Also, keep in mind the sheriff that we reported about a couple weeks ago. That was made it his basically his whole platform point to deputize regular citizens and arm them and give them the authority and power of sheriff and police to be able to protect their families from whatever threat that they deem necessary to protect themselves from. So it's definitely right. It's definitely an issue of ours to look out for and stay aware of.
Ugly Kid said, as a kid, my mom took me to a neo-Nazi rally that was held downtown so that I could see the evil firsthand. Nebraska has never been nice.
I mean, they telling you what it is. It ain't for everybody.
For those of you who don't know, that's the state motto now.
Yeah.
Nebraska, it's not for everybody. Can you imagine? Can you imagine coming up with that one? Stay
Yeah,
woke. Stay woke.
I would definitely like to have heard that meeting. Just be a fly on the wall in that meeting. How do you come up with that?
I'm gonna call Jinx if he had anything to it, man. Jason Fisher was partly responsible for the We Don't Coast one that came before that, and
Hmm.
because he was on that board of people that were coming up with those names. So I wonder if he was on this next one. I wonder if he was on this one. I want some inside information on how they came up with Nebraska. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, like that don't even excite you. Like it's like
It's the dog whistle, bro. It's a
it
dog whistle.
has to be.
Who they put that out there at the same time they wanna build all this stuff to bring people here. They
Hmm.
want to bring folks here, but who they want to bring here? Well, it's if you dog whistle, it ain't for everyone. Then certain people gonna know what that means. Yeah, pops, right. Hey, I got a store. I just opened up a store, and I sell all kinds of goods. And but this store ain't for everyone. Armada, come to Paul's boutique. It ain't for everyone.
It ain't for everyone. Yeah, man. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Moving on. 8:35. You leave with the concept of time. You want to jump into that last one, and then get to
Yeah,
the.
yeah, because this is the extreme of these elected officials, man, just going crazy. Going crazy. This latest story coming out of Las Vegas. Pops, you might have heard of this one. Apparently a county administrator was just arrested on suspicion of murder. Man, this is a crazy story. Early Wednesday, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department confirmed in a statement to NPR that it was executing a search warrant related to the weekend homicide of I forget journalist Jeff German. He's a journalist with the Las Vegas Review Journal. He was stabbed to death, and apparently they're looking at this elected official, Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis, who apparently was the subject of a article that German wrote, laying out and detailing mismanagement of funds.
Mm.
Apparently, he had written a story, actually a series of stories about Tellus's mismanagement of the public administrator's office, including allegations of a hostile workplace, bullying, and favoritism. Employees also said that Tellus had an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. Tellus denied the allegations and targeted German on social media. In one tweet, he called one of those stories about his office a smear piece and said he thought German was mad that I haven't crawled into a hole and died. Carlos Martinez de la Serna, who's the program director of Committee to Protect Journalists, said it's imperative for authorities to get to the bottom of what happened to German, saying that police must conduct a swift and transparent investigation into this killing and clearly determine the motive. Whoever killed German should be held to account. And we bring this up because Paul has this theory that being a journalist, doing what we are trying to do, as far as just speaking truth, is dangerous.
It's the most gangster thing you can do right now is to become a reporter. Straight up. They have organizations that try to protect journalists now, and we're not just talking about their freedom of speech. We're talking about them physically. Journalists go to other countries and get killed all the time. Journalists in this country, is a war on journalism in this country that ends. Here's somebody who is ended up dead over what it is that he exposed. And that ain't the first time. We can talk about all this.
Yeah.
Folks don't like being called out. Journalism can be dangerous, right? You got to be ready to do that. So when we give props to Chris Baby Boy Bowling, and we give props to Bridget, and we give props to Princess Leia, and everybody that's out there digging and calling people and asking questions that people don't like them asking.
And
They
Natalia Alundari going to Ukraine.
Natalia Alundari at Flatwater Free Press going to the war zone. Journalists are truth tellers, like Kimra Snipes says over on YouTube. Journalists are truth tellers. It ain't always safe to tell the truth. So and especially right now in this day and age with the fake news and the Trump effect and everything that's going on, there's a war on journalism and a war on journalists. And literally, you got this the most gangster thing you can do to start to speak up and start telling the truth. I definitely have looked at things. I worked in security in California for about 12 years, and I look at things like that now when I walk around. There's just a way that you look at stuff, and eyes behind your head and quick movements over on your right. You get your spidey senses up. I do this all the time, and it came back around when we started doing this because of we were at Mind and Soul, and people knocked on the door of the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation talking about who's in there talking about Trump.
Yeah.
Some white supremacist cat came to the door. He had to call the police and everything. Came banging on the door. I know y'all got a radio station in there. Who's in there talking about Trump?
I mean, there are some times during Freedom Summer where things got tense at the station.
There's times at Freedom Summer where things got tense at the Culxr House. That's another thing. The Culxr House is in my route when I drive anywhere in order for me to just put some eyes on the building, because everybody knows that a lot of the activism that happened generated out of that space, and them cats gotta keep an eye out.
Yeah.
It's a war on truth, like Brother Chapman says, straight up. So number one, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it all the way. We ain't pulling no punches. We're gonna say what we're gonna say. Number two, we in a dangerous game. When I talk about training young journalists to capture the news, I use the term news gang.
Man.
Because they gotta have each other's back like they're in a gang, bro, like that, straight up. I mean, think about the threats that we've heard of threats that they've given reporters at Flatwater Free Press about who was the one that went to the jail, and they tried to act like she brought her phone in, and they trying to fine her $300,000 or something stupid.
Yeah.
Was that Natalia?
Yeah, I think that was Natalia.
So they'll try to get you monetarily, like you know, in every way. So we can't even teach citizen journalism without having an element of you go in twos. You some of the journalism, some of the people that are on this team need to be there for security reasons. All that is a part of it. If we were to do a seminar right now on teaching citizen journalism, there'd be a security class on top of a writing class, on top of a camera use class, on top of a what's the laws, what's the libel laws class, on top of all this. You got to protect yourself legally, physically, in every way. So that's why I felt it was important that we bring this situation out, and always bring this situation out when it comes to any journalists that are getting messed with or are unsafe because somebody don't like something that they put turn the light on.
Mm-hmm.
On them on. So yeah, that's what's up. Wanda Lewis says that's why I like first Sky Omaha platform. Thank you, I appreciate that. That's what we're trying to do. Like-minded people. You're exactly right. Woke people need the support of people who think like them. I know the feeling. Yeah, we started off as a show that we were trying to show people stuff and teach people stuff. It quickly turned into, this is so that we can solidify language with other like-minded people, and then go out and fight those battles. You got to put your club together first.
Man,
you got to put your game together first. Then you can go battle.
Regulators.
Mount up. There you go. We'll talk about this more and more and more. With that said, 8:43. If you believe in the concept of time, do you want to jump into a quick break and jump to the guest, or let's do that? All right, sounds good. Yep. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, live from the Culxr House. We'll be talking to Marcy Yates coming up next. Stay tuned. It's going down. Welcome back. Thanks for listening. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, the chat chimers. Buddy is over at the Culxr House right now, getting ready to set up to talk to Brother Marcy Yates. I wanted to jump into the chat while they get set up because you guys are talking about some very relevant things right here. Wanda Lewis says, well, first of all, Kimmer Snipe says, not necessarily related. I disagree. I think it's very related. But we've been talking about election protection for poll workers, community organizers. It can also be scary going into communities, especially in rural Nebraska. We had a guest on, Farrell Pearson, that does some teaching out in rural Nebraska. She's always getting death threats and all kinds of stuff going on. Luckily, she's got a family and a team and a partner that she goes out with and really tries to look out for her on that level. But man, it's look, I don't even like driving through certain places, bro. That's real. Like, I got to know where I'm going, who's going to be on the other side of it. I'm going to go in the daytime, let everybody know I left. Like, there's all kinds of stuff, even just driving through some of these areas here when it comes to how we got to work, how we got to manage. So that's really what's going on here, and we really got to kind of look out for each other on that. And that element just has to be there, an element of protection as well. I've been a promoter for years. So I promoted shows in California. I promoted shows in Hawaii. I never throw a show without security. That's what's up. This is the reason why, like, I want to get more involved with BAA. Those brothers are doing, and sisters are doing something about security on top of other moves. That you have to put that in. That's just what it is. You can't go walk around acting like you're just immune to what's going on with you. So definitely got to keep that in mind for sure. Brother Valentine said that's one of the key roles that the Black Panthers in the Fruit of Islam played. When you tell the truth, when you got somebody that's telling some hard truths, you got to have the security team around you. That's all there is to it. Marianne Williams says silence is complicity. Also, a lot of European Americans don't ever see it firsthand. They go about their day thinking America's great if we don't speak up. Got to be speaking up. The speaking up is absolutely the most important. Wanda Lewis says, don't forget to turn the location off on your phone. Just saying. You got to go through all kinds of little things like that to try to be safe and look around and so on. But also, it's looking out for each other. It's the same way that we're looking out for each other spiritually and mentally here, like on the show. We got to look out for each other physically in the spaces that we go to and the places that we are. Kimber Snipes and own guns, right? She says, I often get somewhat nervous even with some of the digging, but I've been doing that y'all don't know about. That's why I keep a spiritual team too and own guns. There you go. Ms. Erica Fell says there was a Latina canvasser just a couple of years ago that was harassed in West Omaha to the point of being really at risk of physical danger. Can imagine that it doesn't happen more than we even think that it happens or hear that it happens. It's heavy. Kimber Snipes says that's why we talk about not operating in fear. I often think of the BAA when I think of the Black Panthers. Exactly. That's I do too. That's my draw. That's my draw to the work that they're doing. It's like Black Panther work. Black Panther Party for Self-Defense was what they were, and it came strictly from deciding that they were no longer going to get beat and killed by cops. This whole reason why that party existed, and they made it a political party, and their biggest programs were feeding kids, but they also were in protection mode. You have to be. There's no movement that you can have without trying to protect yourself. Just on a family level, you protect your family all the time. You lock your doors. You don't let a whole bunch of people come to your house. You don't even hardly let people know where you live sometimes. You stay out of harm's way a lot. You do stuff to secure yourself every single day that you're not really thinking about, but you're doing it in order for you to be who you are and do what you do. That's just what it is. Brother Muhammad says, always be your own security. He is, as a matter of fact, the last thing that I did is in a security fashion I did with Brother Muhammad, because, and that's what I know of him. I know that he has taught martial arts. He's a believer of you take care of you and your family and the people around you on whatever level you need to do that. So yeah, man, I appreciate you being here, Brother Muhammad, and speaking that truth as well. Most definitely. Marianne Williams says, on the other hand, election security provided by tin hat QAnon election fraud security officials is scary too. Have to be selective. Very true. Brother Muhammad says personal security first starts in your mind. Very true. Got to get it right. I like what Kimmer is saying about not having a scary mindset. I forgot how you phrase that. I'm gonna go back up and see real quick. Um, yeah, say it again because I can't find it right now. But yeah, got to say it again. But yeah, I like that idea of not walking around scared all the time as well. Miss Erica says, right. I just happened to know about the woman because she told me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known, but would assume. Well, listen, anytime anybody is going out to do the good work and is getting harassed, let us know because everybody needs to know this. It needs to be stories. I'm not operating in fear. Thank you, Miss Snipes. Yeah, not operating in fear. That's what it is. So anyway, yeah, good comments. I really appreciate everybody commenting there. Lots to talk about there. I'm glad that you guys are on the same page as far as you know, just think about what we got to do here. It hit, like I said, it hit me hard over the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation when we're in the middle of Nebraska in a place where everybody surrounding us thinks that Malcolm X was nothing but a black guy who hates white people. They don't have no respect for this cat. We're sitting over here on acres, and we're broadcasting from the middle of it, saying stuff like Michelle Trotsky said, I hope Donald Trump dies in a car accident." I remember she said that on air, and we looked at each other like, "Is that what kind of show we gonna be?" And yeah, and we were like, "Well, I guess so. Guess that's what it is." And sure enough, we got somebody knocking on the door on that. So that's another part of my route. Even though we're not there no more, I still roll down, man. Keep eyes on the building. You got to. So anyway, without further ado, we're gonna bring on our guest. It's 8:51, so we got a little bit of time left, and he's in the wings right now. The brother who is the one oh my bad, I'm hitting the wrong button. The brother who is the one who is getting down with the Culxr House right now, man. Are you on mute right now?
Check.
One,
Yeah,
two,
there
one,
you
two.
go.
There we go.
Marcy Yates, my man. What's going on, bro?
No, what's happening? What's good, my brother?
Appreciate you being on, my man. Appreciate you hosting over at the Culxr House. And as a musician, I appreciate you getting up so early in the morning to do it all. So that's what's really up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for inviting me on. When Buddy hit me, told me he was gonna be in town, and any way we can link and do something, like we're gonna do it and definitely get up for it.
Oh yeah. Marcy's big bro, and I definitely hit him up kind of last minute to make this happen, man. So definitely appreciate the Culxr House for hosting us and putting this together. Yeah, man. Anyone who is not familiar with the Culxr House, definitely please make sure to come through. Check out the Culxr House. You see they got the stage behind us. They have all kind of community events. Whether it's for entertainment, poetry, political events, forums. I mean, they got the records, they got some threads, for you to come check out. So it's definitely a community hub that I make sure that I hit every time I hit the city, man. So yeah, man, it's only right to tap in with you. This is actually our HAPS segment of the show.
Okay. Wait. We gotta play the track. Then.
Gotta do it right.
Oh snap! Hey,
What's the HAPS? What's happening?
Yo.
What's going down?
What's happening? It's time for the HAPS, y'all. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the hood. It's time for you to tell us what you think we should be checking out this weekend as well. Man, I gotta say, Culxr House is like the hub of activity right now, man. So most of the HAPS is gonna be talking about what y'all doing, bro. Let us know.
Yeah,
What's
right.
the word?
Yeah, the word. Yeah, going into this weekend. We're kind of quiet at the Culxr House this weekend, but Marcy Yates is kind of active. So I will be out in these streets tonight at Page Turners. They have their 10-year anniversary. So it is a 3-day extravaganza with a bunch of bands. So starting tonight, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'll be playing tonight at 10 o'clock at Page Turners. So make sure to pop out for that. Also, AfroCon is this weekend as well. So
yes, sir.
Yep, with Jade in the House of Afros and Curls, right?
Capes.
Capes.
Can't
Yep.
forget the capes.
My bad. Yeah. Yes, I know that's popping for sure. But we do have some events that is coming up in the next week. We have our third art battle competition, and so that is September 17th. That is next Saturday. So make sure you pop out for that. That starts at 6 o'clock. So art battle is a live painting tournament. And it's 3 rounds, 12 artists. So 6 artists the first 2 rounds, and then the final round is 4 artists, and the canvas gets bigger. So the artists have 20 minutes to paint a blank canvas, and then the attendees. And this is a live stream event, so people that are watching it virtually can vote as well too for their winner.
Oh,
And yeah, and a cool thing about it that all the paintings that are created during the event are up for auction during the silent auction. So most of the time, a lot of the paintings are sold. You know, the first time we sold 13 out of 16. The last one we sold, I think, 8 out of 12.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So artists are selling paintings and making some money.
Man.
Yeah. Aside of that, though, we do have a hip hop and R&B event, Gray Body's birthday bash. So that's going to be on the 23rd. That's another event that's going to be kind of cool. We breaking in some newer artists, some artists showcasing some of their new music. A major announcement. We just announced yesterday that we are back like MJ wearing the 4-5. You know, we are bringing back the open mic Tuesdays. You know, so
Hey.
So starting this Tuesday coming up, you know, we'll be right back to breaking in newer artists, other artists, you know, dusting off their chops or dusting off their records, you know, coming in and wanting to get some feedback or just perform. So you guys know the vibe for that. We'll definitely be bringing that back.
Man, you been modest, man. What's up with the Shang? I want to know the Shang show that's coming up, man.
Yo,
for y'all who don't know, man, they bringing Shang, the comedian. If you remember what was the Comedy Central days, or not Comedy Central, but Comic View. Comic View. Yeah, BET Comic View. He was a regular on that, man.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I knew I was leaving something
Come
off.
on, man.
I knew it. So that's the 18th. So that's the next day after. That's the day after the art battle. So yeah, Shang will be coming here. We have Unstable Records, who is the promotional company. So they are putting on the event. We have some local comedians on the roster as well. Let me see. Let me make sure. I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess up the good brother's name real quick. His name is.
I see you got Georgezilla, Michael Griffin.
There we go. Yep, Georgezilla, Michael Griffin. Now, Michael Griffin, we did a comedy. I don't know if you came to it earlier this summer, but we did a comedy special with Michael Griffin earlier this summer in June, and that thing, that thing went crazy.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. And I also wanted to talk to you about. I see you got your Chicago hat on. I wanted to, my man Ike Kid helping us with the.
Yep. Here, I got a better one for you right there. Boom.
Yeah, boom.
There we go. Okay, here we go.
I mean, yeah, HBO, Netflix, like the dude is not a small comedian, so it's kind of a big thing that they're having a comedian of that stature coming to the Culxr House. So please make sure y'all come out. You see, they got the tickets available on unstablerecords.com. Support. And I wanted to talk to you about some of the things that you're doing to support the community, as far as like bringing artists and just comedians and people from other places into Omaha, because that's definitely what I'm trying to do in Atlanta. That's what we're all about at First Sky Omaha, and that's kind of one of our missions, is bringing Omaha to the world and bringing the world to Omaha. So I just kind of want to speak to your mentality about doing those types of events and just making those types of moves.
I think like at this point now, our reputation and just like what we've continued to do has kind of set that energy, like in that tone. So people, you know, like are willing and wanting to actually, like, this is like a desirable place to come, like, and play at. It's almost like legendary now, like the legendary Culxr House kind of type, you know what I'm saying, thing. So it's super cool, right? And being able to develop the relationships with these traveling artists, touring artists, you know, like it's networking, right? I feel like that we have the talent that can always like line up with them, open up or be on these events with them. The thing that used to bother me a lot was that we would have like these big name people come here, and then the promoters wouldn't add any homegrown talent like to those bills or those lists, as if like we can't share stage or anything, you know, anything like that. You know, so that's just how I feel. I feel like we're just as good, even better, you know. So that's my mentality. So in these bigger markets, like, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I figured that, but I definitely wanted to hear from you, man, because like I said earlier, Omaha has the talent, Omaha has the ideas, Omaha even has the resources, like the Culxr House, you know what I'm saying, like First Sky Omaha. But it just takes cats like myself, cats like Marcy, cats like a lot of people that's out there doing the work to kind of pull it together and kind of show people how to use it and how to really make it do what they're trying to do, man. So again, if you haven't been to the Culxr House, please come check out the Culxr House. You see they got a lot going on. But even when they don't have anything going on, you might drive by, see the door open, just stop in, shop, buy you some records, buy you some clothes. I see Miss Erica Feld in the chat saying that Boogie's gotten some back to school shirts, albums, even got posters and things from the Culxr House. So yeah, definitely come through and shop.
Oh, one more announcement. So Culxr House just launched a poetry team.
Hey,
so we are going to be competing in what was formerly known as Louder Than a Bomb. So y'all know Jewel Rogers.
Yeah.
So she's gonna be the coach for Culxr House. So our intentions is to recruit youth from the ages 14 to 18. So if y'all out there and y'all got some kids that are into poetry or into lyricism, like, please sign them up. We're trying to win state titles and championships out here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we out here trying to compete, trying to show that excellence.
And I'll put it in perspective, man. The Louder Than the Bomb platform is huge, man. That's where Chance the Rapper out of Chicago, he was a part of Louder Than the Bomb competitions, and so like a lot of talent.
I didn't even know that.
Chance the Rapper was doing Louder Than the Bomb in Chicago, and still has a lot of connections to those organizations.
Fellas, it's 9 o'clock. Just want to let people know that we might spend a little extra minute here because there's a couple things we definitely wanted to get with. This state of emergency meeting is something that we absolutely do. It's a HAPS that we absolutely need to get down with this Sunday, happening from 1 to 4 over at North High. State of emergency town hall meeting, a community coming together for answer, solutions, and peace. Brother Terrell McKinney, put some respect on his name, is the one that hit me to this first. He's a part of putting this thing together. We've had a lot of people dying and some shootings and things happening here. And they're calling it a state of emergency, and we need to get together and talk about it. We'll also probably be doing a little kickback since Buddy is in town after 4. But meet us over here at North High for the state of emergency for sure. And one last thing I wanted to holler about real quick. We got to give a shout out to Precious McKesson, who's standing here with me. We see you out there in DC, politicking with Pete in DC, standing a couple feet away from the Prez, all in the picture. Represent North Omaha, you know how she does. So shout out to Precious on that. And also, man, shout out to the Black Agenda Alliance. Time to Get Free. They got a couple things going on September 17th. The community land cleanup. The brothers, they're out there on their land right there. They want us to come out and put some hands on that land. They bought, what was it, 8 acres? They bought some serious acreage in North Omaha. They're trying to keep that in North Omaha, keep it cleaned up, and talk about some ideas on what to do, some use on that land. So shout out to them on that. They also doing a paintball war the next day, Sunday, September the 18th. Them brothers are pretty tactical themselves. So we say get out and get the paintball action happening on the 18th. So shout out to the BAA on that. And also shout out to everybody that is connected here. I'm trying to look through the chat and see if anybody had any other haps. If not, Brooke said Biden got him some Botox.
Mayor Sanchez said he doing bones at his crib.
Bones at his crib. He's also talking about bringing some food. Wanda Lewis said she would bring some sides for our little cookout on Sunday. So we'll see what we can do. See if we can do that. Marianne Williams is asking, is anybody going to live stream the state of emergency meeting? If I go, I will work on doing that. First Sky Omaha's commitment from now on is to start trying to hit some of these up and use our live stream talents to host some of these things and all that good stuff. So we'll work on that. If not, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to relay that information for sure. But just want to say thank you for everybody that's tuned in. Thank you for everybody that's staying late with us real quick. If we can give it a few more minutes since we got our brothers sitting here, I really appreciate it if you can stand to stay a minute or two just so we can holler real quick at Marcy Yates and just give him his flowers on what he's doing with this place. I got to say one thing that I would like to do with you with First Sky Omaha is for us to do a little video tour of your spot. So that we can, because last time I was there, I realized that you guys had the stage and the skate ramps and stuff in the back. A lot of people have come there and bought stuff, but they haven't gone to the back though and seen the shows and stuff yet. So you've definitely doubled the size of the spot, and you're able to bring people in and do things. And I wanted to ask you a question about that. Do you guys rent the spot as well? Is it something that you can collaborate on somebody else to bring something to it? How do you guys work when it comes to that to how the Culxr House actually works in that arena?
Yeah, people can rent the space if they want to, and we can definitely collaborate with other organizers or promoters if they have a plan or an idea that makes sense for us. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah.
Yep, yeah, that's what's up. So I want to do is Augie in the background. Yeah, shout out to Augie Kid, man. Everybody still your number one first Sky Omaha song is still Ballad in the Bullet that you put together, man. So shout out to him. He also is the one that saves all of our shows as well, man. So we can go back and broadcast those. So Augie Kid is a major part of the squad. You guys haven't seen him for a while. He was Black Excellence back in the Mind and Soul days, but as you can see, he's still around. And you guys are doing a lot of stuff together too. I always seen Augie on the Culxr House stage all the time these days too, man. You guys working on some projects together?
Definitely, we launched our Culxr House records, so I guess definitely one of the artists.
I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah,
man. That's like my man Coral Corleone, man. Shout out to Coral.
Shout out to Coral. Yeah, for sure. We want to get back in the lab too. We got a list of guys, that are hungry and but we trying to keep them close, and keep them under the umbrella. So Augie's been a great addition and just great help, just to Culxr House over the last few years.
Man, it's all in the film. All in the film.
That's what's up. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Brooke, he does that. They got ramps. I'm going to take Little Man over there. They got ramps. They got art classes, poetry classes, all kinds of stuff. I want to bring Little Man over for us, so we'll talk about it for sure. Erica Fell says, I found Marcy Yates on Spotify. Yep. Tell them where your music's at.
Check them out.
Yep. You can find me, Marcy Yates, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, pretty much every streaming platform that you listen to music on. Just search Marcy Yates. Yeah, you can find me. So thanks a lot. Run them numbers up.
Yeah, run it up.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate y'all, man. And Buddi3. That's right. Augie Kid keeps on giving the signal. Go check out Buddi3 Da Gawd on Spotify as well. He definitely has some tracks on there, man. The Living Right, still my all-time favorite of your tracks, bro. That's the jam right there. Yeah, man. So yeah, we really appreciate it. Hey, Marcy, we put on our first Sky Omaha page a little documentary project that you did back in the day when you came on to Mind and Soul, and we were realizing that's the most we've ever seen ourselves work at Mind and Soul was on your video. Nobody ever took any video of us working,
bro. So, like on that crisis
actors,
yeah, like come on, man. That was dope. That was dope. For sure. Yeah, that's dope.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Brooke says she saw you at Baja, dog, fresh.
Oh,
that's big praise coming from my sister right there. Big praise.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. And again, if you haven't seen them tonight, right? Page Turners.
Tonight, Page Turners.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Appreciate everybody, man, staying a little late with us. Let's go on and get out of here. Marcy, you got some words for the people before we get up?
Yeah, get through the weekend, all right? Keep it safe.
For sure.
That's what's up. Augie Kid, how about you? You got any words for the people?
Squad!
Squad.
buddy, what you got? What you got for the folks?
Man, it's good to be home. Big shout out to my man Marcy Yates, the Culxr House, for hosting us for this episode. Again, if you haven't come through, check them out, man. Do some patroning, shop a little bit, check out the events. Just soak up the culture, soak up the vibes, man. So it's definitely good to be back. I'm here all weekend, man. You might see me pop up at a few other places. So definitely, if you see me, make sure you walk up, say hi. I might have a scowl on my face, but it's all love. It's all love. Again, man, thanks. Big shout out to all the chat chimers, all the ghost listeners, all the first time and last time listeners, letting your mind be free, letting your voice be heard. Big shout out to the dude Zane tuning in.
What's up, Zane? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, man, it's a family affair. Mama God in the building as well. So yeah, man, big shout out to everybody. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling excited. So yeah. Thank you. Paul B.
Yeah. Man, first of all, shout out to Zane. What's going on, my brother? I appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna take you over to Culxr House so you can get on your skateboard and do your thing. They've been getting the Bee's been teaching the little man how to skate, bro, and he's getting good. So it's time to take him over to the Culxr House, let him get down a little bit. So that's what's up. Just want to give a shout out to everybody. Just want to let everybody who's listening and still here understand what you're looking at right here. You're looking at Black excellence sitting on this couch in this building. Buddi3 Da Gawd, Marcy Yates, Augie Kid, three of the most intelligent young Black men I've ever met in my life, and I consider them brothers, and I consider them super talented. and I wouldn't be spending my time with these cats if it wasn't like that. I'm too old. I'm too old to be messing around with little jackasses. So hey, so if I'm hanging with these young cats, they that's what's up. So appreciate all y'all, man. Appreciate them, and appreciate you. Appreciate everybody being interested in what it is that we're doing here. Shout out to the chat chimers. Shout out to the ghost listeners. Shout out to all the people that are members of the station as well, that's supporting us. Really keep this going. Really appreciate that, and thank you very much for that. Just to get on up out of here, just want to give a shout out to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. Shout out to all of you, the chat chimers. Shout out to Star Trek Rich and the crew over at Weberize. Shout out to Augie Kid and the squad. Shout out to Marcy Yates and the Culxr House and for allowing us to broadcast live there as well. All of you, all of our partners, really appreciate it. Miss Erica Felt said, love this show. Drink water, follow your budget so you can direct your money. Check your titties and your colons. You're important. Act like it. Man, prime advice from Erica Felt. Do not forget, Miss Erica Felt there's a campaign out there to help her out while she's going through this time of recovering from her surgery, and we are nowhere near that goal. So go to that meal. What was it called? The meal train. I'm gonna pull it up real quick just so we can put that back in the chat. I looked at it the other day and I realized there's still a lot of dates open that you can help her out by providing some meals there. Send some to her, bring some to her, and also as far as the monetary goal is concerned too, we're not nowhere near the goal that we need to help her get through and keep her business alive while she's doing what she needs to do. So please go back to Meal Train, hit her up again. She is a vital part of our community. We really appreciate what she does for the kids, especially, and how she is a chat chimer and a supporter of First Sky Omaha. And Wanda Lewis is putting her Cash App in the chat as well. So appreciate that very much. Miss Erica Fell says, thank you, and my son thanks you. That's what's up.
All love. It's all love.
All love. Appreciate you. We're gonna get on up out of here. Appreciate everybody that joined us today, and it's all love around here, man. Buddy, can't wait to see you now that you're back in town.
Yes, sir.
Do things and do some cookouts on Sunday. Get together and hang out with the fam. Get to see Little Mama. I can't believe Little Mama's almost a year, bro. She's over a year now, right?
Over a year, yeah. She's talking, she's walking.
That's incredible. All right, y'all. Have a good one. We'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend. Peace.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any means necessary.
Hey, just one last thing I wanted to put up real quick. We had to make a correction. AfroCon is not till October 8th. It is not this weekend. AfroCon is October 8th. So check out the House of Afro Capes and Curls. It's going to be at the Metropolitan Community College. You got time to get your cosplay stuff together and get your tickets and go to AfroCon October 8th, 2022. That is it. Peace, y'all.